Okay, we have some good news in the housing market. Of course, that kind of depends on which part of the housing market you're on. Are you on the seller side or on the buyer side? Because it's going to make a big difference. As we know, we've had meltdown in the news, crash all over articles for a very, very long time now. In this video, we're going to look at the home prices falling in the top 3 cities, and we're also going to look at some kind of potential good news that we have here. Once again, depending on where you're at in the buy-sell cycle. So I am Stephen Clark, flipped about 100 homes and sold about 200 homes. The first thing I really want to talk about is this pending home sales index. So this pending home sale index refers to something that industry people look at a lot for kind of a predictive indicator of what's about to happen, right? It's a leading indicator of housing activity and measures housing contract activity and is based on signed real estate contracts for existing single-family homes. They incorporate condos and co-ops in there. Townhomes, I think, are in there as well because a home goes under contract a month or two before it's sold. So an uptick in this will mean more sales 95% of the time, right? Or maybe 92 to 97% of the time more accurately. So it leads the indicators by about a month or two. So let's see what the main kind of new stats about this is. So there's been a slight decline in mortgage rates in December and January, as we know. So now we are in March, and we're getting kind of the full effects of those finally felt and finally contributed to the conversation right now, right? The pending home sales for a second consecutive month, according to data released by the National Association of Realtors. So they do have, I think, kind of the best data. They aggregate it, and they're way more kind of trustful when you see those numbers than you would a profit incentivized thing like Zillow, Redfin, etc. A pending home sales index, a forward-looking indicator of the home sales based on contract signing, improved 8% in January. Year over year, pending transactions dropped by 24%. So basically, we still have a big drop, but we're getting some sort of lift in the market from that number, about that 8%. So the last time pending contracts registered above this was 3 months after the pandemic lockdown, when showings came to a standstill. And we all remember that. We all remember how that went. But we got to see the housing market get back on track after that as well. So in June 2020, pending home sales pace increased 17% compared to the month before. Buyers responded with better affordability from falling mortgage rates in December and January, the chief economist said. And I think that's very true because people now know that, okay, this is not going to get necessarily any better in the short term. So let's just go ahead, throw in and lock in some rates now, even though they're higher than they were, a year ago, much higher, but still that's okay because we're just going to lock it in right now, and then we expect it to go up because they will probably put the brakes on the economy, raise it a couple more times before it gets better. So expect the economy to continue to add jobs throughout 2023 and 2024. That's NAR does, and the 30-year fixed mortgage rate steadily dropped to an average of 6.1 in 2023 and 5.4% in 2024, they think. So this is a pretty good indicator, right? We like to see it. I think it's something that gives us a little bit of hope and also shows that the demand of the market is still there, even though we're not seeing a huge relief in mortgage rates yet. So the demand's still there. I think that means that when mortgage rates do go back down again, we're going to see a strong demand that's still there. They talked about adding jobs, and that's really, really important because when you add jobs, you have a stronger housing market, just kind of in a correlated event. So U.S. home prices fell in December for the 6th straight month. We are getting a butchering of home prices. It is going down fast. So the prices fell for the 6th month in a row in December as rising mortgage rates obviously kept people out. The national composite declined 0.8% in December and now stands at 4.4%. The cooling of home prices that began in January 2022 continued through the end of the year and December as a consecutive month. So basically, we can see some of the cities with the strongest price appreciation were all in the southeast. What's up with Miami up 15%, which is crazy, seeing the strongest prices for the 5th straight month. It was followed by Tampa up 13%, Atlanta 10%. I don't get it. Charlotte, 9%. And the Southeast and South were strongest regions, in the West, the weakest, which is really, really crazy. So prices in San Francisco had fallen year over year, and the cities decline worse in December, with prices down about 4.2%, which I don't think anyone's super upset about that because it's still a crazy expensive place. The prospect of stable and higher interest rates means that mortgage financing remains a headwind for home prices, while economic weaknesses, including the possibility of recession, may also constrain potential buyers. We all know that. Let's check at the top 3 right here. So houses fell. Of course, we know that. Just went over that. There are 3 cities with saw the steepest prices decline. With a month over month. So they look at it seasonally, month over month. They factor in the seasonality of it thing too. Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Portland, as we know, they're kind of getting butchered out west, but the South is staying pretty strong. They know that it's, once again, probably going to get a little worse before it gets better. So this really is kind of good news depending on if you're a buyer or seller here, and depending on what part of the geographic United States you're in. So like and subscribe to this channel. Of course, watch the other updates I have. And I have some real estate vlog videos because I'm a house flipper, so I'm going to go around and show you the real back end, the real HGTV part of it, right? Negotiating with the realtors, getting into things. And I think that this is stuff that is really huge that people do not go over in popular like real estate media. So I think it's really, really cool, and I'm going to launch that in probably the next day or two.